Oh, Frodan, you're muted.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blackrock Mountain Launch Invitational, where, if you want to get more packs and stuff, you come to the right place. You can get 10% off if you use Amazon coins to buy the card packs. So a big shout out to Amazon and what they've done so far in supporting this awesome tournament. Amos, how you been enjoying the game so far?
So far the games have been pretty cool. I think the last series was pretty interesting with the show, trap maneuvers and the triple emperor situation. It's been pretty cool, and of course, it's always good to have you here casting with me.
Aw, thanks, buddy. I'll see you soon again. We'll have fun in Germany where you can take my money in poker like you did last time.
Wait, did I
Good
take?
stuff.
No, it was probably someone else.
Oh. Yeah, well, someone took my money. Oh, it's like Freaky and all those other guys.
Yeah,
Other
probably.
guys, yeah.
All
Good
right.
memories, man. It's going to be coming up in a few days, so make sure to keep your eye on that. In the meantime, we're going to get ready for our third series of the day, which is going to be a fun one. This one's Chakki versus Hyped. It's Tempo Storm versus Dignitas. And you're right. You brought it up. We're like, we haven't seen Hyped too much outside of some regular, like, weekly tournaments, the Kingwin, for example, or NVIDIA. A couple of those events, but in terms of the week, like the invitational, like win or go home type of events, we haven't seen Hyped in quite some time, other than his second place performance at the Elite Invitational in China, which
Yeah.
not many people in the West watched. Maybe a few people on, when they were watching on the broadcast. But
Yeah, maybe. And also Chucky, right? The last tournament he played in was the Legendary Series.
that's
So
right.
yeah, it's new
Wow, and
tournament for both these guys.
he grew out his hair and he combed it over, man. Chalky's growing up, my little nerd. Hitting
I
puberty. I
like this.
love it.
This look. Yeah, it's good.
Druid, Hunter, and Warrior versus Druid, Mage, and Rogue. Chalky is one of the infamous players in recent memory who brought 3 fatigue decks to try and capitalize on anti-control. But today he brought Hunter, and I would expect to see that face Hunter. What is he going to bring in the rest of the decks? Looks like he's got regular Warrior up against Rogue. That's a really good matchup. But immediately we see something a little bit different this time around, Amaz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you mean the Defiance ringleader, right?
Yeah. A little
Yeah, yeah,
cute.
yeah. That is actually not really standing out for me because it might be very special because whenever I ladder against hypes, I always see Defiance ringleader in whatever decks he put, like maybe pirate rogue, the oil rogue or whatnot. It's kind of like the hype special. So I wasn't entirely like surprised by the ringleader, but I think a lot of people who are not familiar with heist play
Right.
would go like, yeah, ringleader is a wow, that was pretty cool that he would
Really cool, man.
put it in his deck. Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. It's a heist special.
It is, just because I know people haven't seen it in some time through competition, but you're right. Hype's been talking to me for a while, or, the team, about how he likes Defias Ringleader, just because, it has a special place in his heart. Now, he starts off on the coin and with an extra card, so that's pretty nice, considering that this matchup can be tough for the Rogue. And Hype's a Rogue specialist, so he knows all the ins and outs. I'm always looking forward to see how he's able to play Rogue, because it's one of the most predictable things about Hype, that he'll always try to see if he can squeeze in a Rogue into the lineup.
Right. Now, Rogue versus Warrior is a hard matchup just because that Rogues usually tend to run X amount of damage, and if Warriors can keep on removing their minions, then the minions don't do repeated damage, and the Rogue just runs out of steam, right? But good thing for Hype is that he does have 2 cards that are really really good against this matchup. The Shredder being one because when you kill it, it just comes back to life, and then of course the Vile Teacher, it doesn't die to the first attack of Deathbite, so it actually might stick around.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I still think that you generally want to establish like the best minion early on, and Pilot Shredder is just so good considering the stats that it puts out.
Mhm.
And if you look at the tokens from the Violet Teacher as another extension of the card, it's the same exact thing too. The token left behind often is a minion that can either leave more tokens like a Haunted Creeper and be more annoying, or it can even have strong impact like we saw the Millhouse Mana Storm at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, that Millhouse was pretty troll.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So Chucky here, thinking of what to do against this Shredder. I guess if you use the axe here, it's a little bit greedy. actually, because you are moving into the turn 4 with the Bio Teacher, so...
Oh, it's a micro. Oh,
Oh, it's a dead Micro Machine for them,
yeah.
so...
He learned his lesson.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty easy play for Hype here, seeing that your opponent did use a Shield Slam. This fight to you doesn't seem like it's gonna go anywhere. But
Mhm.
unfortunately for him, Chucky does have a low Theb, which is a pretty good counter to Violet Teacher. I mean, if it doesn't spawn dudes, it's just a 3/5, right? A vanilla 3/5 is not that hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's it's a really good response just because it challenges anything else. And like you said, spells are so expensive. But that's assuming your opponent doesn't have anything to do. Playing Azure Drake is okay too. It's too bad that they can't capitalize on backstab and other cards. But that obviously still is an opportunity for Hype to do a lot of combo stuff as time goes on. So we'll see how he picks up the cards after this Azure Drake falls.
Hmm.
Unless he wants to do something else.
No, Azuric is pretty damn good here. I would imagine this. I would imagine that from him down. But yeah, it's right. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this Azuric. I mean, Lothar was obvious. Azuric was obvious. So now we have the other plays.
Okay. Well, Shield Maidens come into the hand, but unfortunately, Chakki was not blessed with the coin this game, so he still can't go for some easy Shield Maiden Shield Slam plays. What's available here? Does he just have to drop the axe and go for the Death Spite?
Um, it's not entirely bad to be honest, because the War Axe is not even supposed to gain a lot of value in this matchup, anyways. I mean, sure, it's really good against the Farseer and the SI7, but usually how rogues play against warriors is that they don't drop that like early on, anyways.
Okay. Touche.
It's fine. Here is a well, you kind of want to use the SI on the Lotheb, obviously. So fan is fine. Fan against warrior is pretty useless, and of course you want to actually soak the Despite with a 3/3 and not a, for example, like a 3/5 or an Azure or something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to see any alternative plays, but I think Fan and SI makes the most sense. It's you can't prep and sprint because it costs 4 mana, and from everything else it gets a little bit janky. And I don't think you want to spend anything else because Fan of Knives is not even that strong in against Warrior.
Yeah, it's not a good card. Now I think prep and sprint is actually really good in turn 6 because when you do that you have 2 mana left over to do 2 mana stuff. But you don't have really a 2 mana stuff to do right now.
Yeah.
So and then if you don't play any card, you're gonna get milled for a card. And already this matchup you need every source of damage you can, so you don't want to get.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could prep sprint though. It's just that you'd be at full cards, right?
Yeah. Whoa. Prep SI
He's oiling?
into whoa.
I was not anticipating this.
I
He wants to
did
get the
not-
oil damage in, force him to attack into the SI7 agent.
Wow.
That was really next level, man. Is it going to pay off? No,
think
he's got Shield Maiden Shield Slam.
Yeah, he's also obviously Chucky's thinking about Harrison as well, and he's also thinking about just hitting his face and just armor. Yeah, just Shield Maiden, Shield Slam. There's 2 lines of play here that both work pretty well, but I think not killing it, not using your face to attack the SI would be the play. So yeah, I think Shield Maiden, Shield Slam would be a pretty good call.
So what's he anticipating? Because on turn 7, this is one of the most common plays you see if you play a minion from Warrior. Because he was anticipating the possibility of just sprinting and everything being fine and dandy.
Mm.
I really
mean,
wish I could tap into his mindset and learn
Well-
exactly what he's trying to make complicated. Because he's trying to disrupt the turn 7 from Warrior, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like in Hype's perspective, your opponent already used 1 Shield Slam, so do you really expect a second one? I mean, I guess execute if Chucky had it, he can just use the face to attack and then execute and play like a 6-drop or 5-drop. So I'm not really sure. There were a lot of outs in Chucky's deck that can actually deal with it. And man, this 4 attack weapon, that's just brutal,
Yeah.
So brutal.
Emperor
Here's
Partisan
the-
comes into hand. I feel like he doesn't really need him that
No.
much. It's nice to have though, for sure. Like imagine Gromach coming down for 7 mana or less.
Right.
Gives you a lot of flexibility and try to pressure your opponent out of the game. There are so many cards though in Hype's hand.
Do you actually think that Thorson would be run in Hype's deck?
That's a good question. I remember for a while, Hype explored the possibility of running Trade Prince Gallywix,
Oh,
and that was a
jeez.
really interesting phase because I remember constantly thinking, how do I squeeze the Gallywix in here? Because it just felt a little clunky. Even if things made, like, you got a lot of good spells, it always made their hands feel a little awkward. And I think maybe Thaurissan is like the answer to that. Maybe like it was supposed to fulfill the role that Gallywix was supposed to do, disrupt your opponent's turn, but more importantly, make yours easier to play. So it's a really good observation of Oz. Maybe it works really well in this deck.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you usually have a lot of cards anyways, right? When you run out of
Mhm.
cards as rogue, you're probably dead anyways.
Yep.
So yeah, it makes sense.
It's interesting though because the cards are already so cheap. I mean, prep with Orison doesn't really do too much more. Like, what are you gonna make Deadly Poison cost 0? Like, it's like yeah,
Well,
everything's already so cheap anyways. So.
that's true, but if they're just 1 mana cheaper, they're that much better, right? Like I think
Absolutely.
of it as if for example, Violet Teacher gets a discount, so 4 or 3, it's not that significant. But if Deadly Poison gets a discount, it's 100% discount. So it's definitely
Yeah.
quite different there.
Yeah, you're actually right. You're super right about that too, because it makes it easier to enable combos.
Yeah. This is not a very well. This is actually not a bad turn, I would say. It's all right. You basically, I mean, obviously you don't really want to sap, but if you use eviscerates on the Grommash, do you have enough damage to end the game? I'm not really sure.
Let's see. If you do sap, that gives you 3 mana. You can play Farseer or set up a weapon. Now that Harrison's been played, you also have no fear of setting up deadly poison or setting up a weapon and then having deadly poison into dagger. I mean, I guess I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't think I mind the sap too much.
One could also prep and sap here instead and make a dagger.
I'm ready to learn.
It's true. I guess it's about the same consequence either way, whether you use it next turn or this turn. So you can might as well
Well,
save the preparation.
it's
You
not
just
the
get
same
one.
consequence because you'd summon more dues, and the dues represent more damage. So yeah, it depends on if you want the extra 1/1 there.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can
The
also
extra 1 damage might matter.
Yeah, you can also prep eviscerate for example for 2 extra dudes. But I guess it's all very tricky.
Yeah, he still has the opportunity for maybe picking up a big blade flurry. And he could want to save the prep for the sprint. So that way he can go into that big turn.
Yeah. Well, I like this play of Chakki. It basically sets up the next turn to be lethal. Unless Hype does something about this, which is basically impossible. Rogues do not have any interactions with your opponent's weapon, and they also have no interactions against a charged minion because they usually don't run taunts. There are actually a few rogue decks that ran one Sludge Belcher, like last week, I guess, something like that. But this has been phased out again already. It's been
Yeah, also once upon a time, Rogues used to run Sabotage. Like the first month after GVG came out, I know some people experimented with Sabotage, and that was a way you can kill a minion and disable the weapon. Really cool. Unfortunately, not the case here unless Hype's gonna surprise us completely. Sprint needs to pick up some kind of heal. He knows the Grommash is in hand. Here we go.
Oh, the ringleader. I don't know about that. Like late game, it's pretty bad. Early game is actually really insane. It's like a 4-3. If you're calling it out. That's why
Yeah.
Hype really respects the 4-3, like the ringleader, like that. So I guess the first game goes to Chakki.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to do all across the T's and dot the I's here to make sure that everything was okay. But looks like Hype's, I might even run out of time and not be able to do anything else. So Chakki wins Rogue versus Warrior matchup here, and it's expected, but maybe Hype's okay with it. If he brought Freeze Mage, then it's like, well, yeah, sure, I want that Warrior to win. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely Chakki picking Warrior first definitely rewarded him against the Rogue matchup, and now Warrior does not even need to face against Druid, which is very, very good, right? I mean, of course, Chakki, if he ran Warrior first and Hype brought Druid first, it would be really bad. So I think Chakki has a very, very big advantage going into this series just with the first win.
All right, well, let's see how it pans out. I mean, we know that even though you win the first game, still anything can happen. It's almost guesswork. Like I hate to eliminate a lot of like the potential strategy, so to speak, but it feels like in these scenarios you just have to queue up based off of the probability, and sometimes it is 50-50. Depends on like how it actually lines up, especially like in this scenario where Druid against Rogue, Druid against Hunter. It still could be either way. Oh, sorry, Rogue versus Druid, Rogue versus Hunter. Excuse me.
Yeah. But yeah, Rogue versus Druid, typically pretty good for the Rogue player.
Mm-hmm. He's got Innervate early on, so he can Innervate and coin Shredders back-to-back turns.
Yep, that's pretty strong.
The Sap.
Not really the card you want to see early on. Whoa.
So if he innervates the Pilot Shredder, though, should he just sap it right back? He doesn't really have a turn play after that. I guess he could backstab it, but
no.
It feels better to
away. Yeah. Yeah, you see Hype shaking his head a little bit there. It's just kind of hard to deal with right now.
Yeah, because even if you sap, your opponent can just coin it out again. And that's how he gets control of the board and potentially seize the tempo for the remainder of the mid game.
Yeah, but the problem of not sapping this is that Chakki's gonna develop something else behind this, right? On turn 2.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna stampede from there. You don't have any AoEs right now. You don't have like any SIs, for example, right now. So you just have to sadly sap it.
All right, so Pilot Shredder number 2 comes out.
All right.
Hyped can play his own Pilot Shredder. Next turn, if his opponent ignores the Shredder, he's got. Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
I think he's got the spell power backstab, but he can just do this instead.
Yeah, he's playing around the Mana Wraith instead, and Neurobot Lord doesn't really affect any creatures right now on Chakki's hand, but it actually makes it so that Hype's minions are kind of awkward to deal with. I guess good thing for Hype he doesn't have a taunter, because if Chakki plays a taunter here, then the Neurobot Arab Lord will actually mess up Hype's turn really, really bad.
Yeah, for sure. So Hyped will have to kill that off, another big target on its back, and finally allow Hype to play something else.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better to play the Drake or the Lotheb? Because the Lotheb just gets challenged by the Pilot Shredder. It does draw you a card, though. Lotheb, on the other hand, a little bit more toughness, and it denies your opponent the ability to play like an easy spell clear, especially if he has like ways to try and punish your minions with swipe or something. What do you think?
This situation actually came up again in Pinnacle just now, where that it's the Druid's turn 5. And turn 5, they usually do Druid to Claw or the Belcher, right? So partly you want to play the Adric so that you draw a card, because if they play that, they're not really using a spell, and if they do, they're kind of floating manas. And the other part is that
he's gonna Blade Flurry.
No, he's just gonna go in with the oil.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Power plays.
Yeah. Okay, I actually like this move the most. This is actually the best, because the 7 attack minion right now, this Chakki can't even deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, then what can you do? You can BGH it, the Death Rattle triggers, or you can silence it, and the Shredder still stays there. So wow, that's actually a really nice play.
That was so sick. Oh man. I mean, most Rogue players would have just traditionally just dropped. Oh man, that's really annoying. Would have just dropped some kind of minion, but now he forced out a swipe, so his Drake's a lot safer now.
Oh, this is gonna be so gross. You see what's gonna happen? Like if Hype plays Drake here, oh man, Hype play Drake. It'll be so good, right? Because Chakki's gonna double shade, and this Phantom Knives is gonna deal double damage and just clear up. Oh, missed opportunity.
That's okay.
Yeah, as I was saying, the Lothep does challenge Sludge Belcher, so that's the thing where you don't know whether to play Lothep or Adric in turn 5 because both
Would
have their merits.
would he have so clearly played the double shade? I mean, he would have got destroyed by the second Blade Flurry or Phantom Knife, so maybe he would have just swiped it again. But that is a really passive turn. But yeah, if that happened, that would have been backbreaking for sure.
You need to develop minions, so I think no matter what, if Chucky saw an Adric, I think he would have been so scared to play double shades. But with the Lothep, I think he's a little bit less scared.
Okay. Got Drake now. He can just pick up preparation. Nothing will happen.
Just
pick up preparation. All right.
No. That would have been so sick though.
I mean, he's still representing the fact that he can kill his opponent next turn. If his opponent didn't do anything about it. Chakki does have Swipe. Got Force of Nature. He's got some defensive cards he can use here. But what a way to turn this game upside down by going aggressive with that oil play. Really cool from Hyped.
And now Chucky's staring at 3 minions that he can't really kill. Well, nicely anyways. And
Yeah.
he's at 11 health. One half of the combo is here right now, but it's the problem of getting into turn 9 that's the big challenge right now.
Yeah, that is true. Hyped could be... if he's able to stabilize, there's a chance that Hyped might just die to the combo, but it's still so far. And I don't think there's anything he could draw necessarily off of Harrison Jones that would improve the situation much. Even though that's one of the best cards you want against Rogue, generally speaking, if it comes to tech. So,
Yeah. Oh jeez, like if you clear the board here, you take. Oh jeez, it's just not gonna work. So yeah, Chucky has to use the Force of Nature to do what it can to clear the board here. And
What a tough turn. I don't envy Chakki at all. So you give up one shade, hold the other. Oh god, that's so painful with Chakki. Another Drake. Oh man.
Yep,
It's
that's
like, well, he had trouble dealing with one of the Drakes.
Drake draws a ringleader. Oh man,
Hell yeah.
that's pretty funny.
I'm trying to think if you can make a read on his swipe or not, but either way, Ringleader's pretty strong for the board that you can put up.
Right.
Wild Growth, not going to be useful. Actually, one of the worst draws Chakki could have picked up right now.
This is also really bad. Like, if you swipe, sure you can clear the board with the hero power, but then you don't develop anything. If you put Ancient Floor, you're pretty much dead. So I guess you have to play swipe. You don't really have another chance here.
You swipe, clear the board, and you let your opponent take initiative. I mean,
Well,
do
you still
you
have your 3 shade.
might as well would you save Wild Growth, or would you just play because it fills out the rest of your mana? And you get that.
It's just a coin, so I guess you do.
Not the best day in the office for Chakki so far, but you know he's still up 1-0 overall in the series. So even if this game doesn't go his way, he still has a little bit of an edge. Hype is still not guaranteed to win just yet.
Oh, what about now? Jordan.
Yeah. I mean, actually, if he even takes out the shade right now, he's still outside of a combo range unless his opponent has Innervate. So even though that sprint comes into hand, he still has to wait that make it wait for a turn.
Well, the only thing that locks hyped out, I guess, after sprinting is Lotheb. So if Chakki can pick that up, that might turn the tides around. But yeah, sprinting is pretty insane here, and you can pick up lethal so easily. There's 2 eviscerates that are not used yet. There's still a Blade Flurry, 1 oil, just lots of stuff you can draw.
Hype is hesitating. What is he thinking about playing the sprint here, or is it? Because I thought it was an easy clear on the Shade and Action with the Deadly Poison. But perhaps, I don't know, maybe Hype's just thinking again 4 levels deeper. It's like, well, maybe if I pick up Prep Oil, I can do it again and kill him.
I think Face is better here. Yeah, Face is better here. I don't think you ever clear. Like, you're erasing your opponent anyways.
Gotcha. You don't want, so even if you clear Shade, you don't have the guaranteed right to kill him, so.
Well, you're looking at lethal next turn, and if your opponent doesn't kill your Shredder, then he's dead, so he's forced to kill the Shredder, more or less.
Well, it's just assuming he doesn't have the combo himself, but I guess you're talking about playing safe versus, you know, being aggressive and taking the board.
Right, yeah. Chakki might choose to heal here.
I think you almost have to. It's
Like,
too risky to
like, if you heal and then you go face of Shade, then you have lethal next turn, right? So like both of these players are just trying to win the game. They're not trying to like play for, oh, if you have this card or you have this card, they're just gonna go like, yeah, you don't have it, I'm just gonna try to win. So that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah, I like that move.
Oh.
Double sprint.
What does Hype need to draw here?
Damage.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good either. Oh my god. Wow. Chakki might just win this. All he needs to do is to Ancient of Lore into a Savage Roar, and then it's GG. That is really surprising.
If he kills off the Shade and it's a taunt, though, that's still, and he can Farce here, it still gives him a chance to stabilize, or not stabilize, but sorry, to stay out of lethal range.
Oh, Armor Serve. So do you go for the win here? I mean, if you're Chakki?
Do you win though? If you draw Savage Roar, you're at 16 damage.
Oh yeah. But if you use the Adric, you draw and then you can heal.
Gotcha. Right.
I mean,
what's the alternative? I mean, if you get a Drake, I don't think that's necessarily that bad. Oh, you're worried about dying, so the opportunity is whether or not you heal yourself and draw cards.
I mean, it's a chance to win on the spot, and you haven't drawn a Savage Roar just yet. Probably run 2, so.
If you
play...
You might draw into it as Druid of the Claw as well. There's actually multiple ways to do this. If you draw a Druid of the Claw, you can set up a taunt and make sure that your opponent can't just like big time Blade Flurry you, right? Unless he saps. It's a really tough decision actually. There's so many ways Rogue can mess it up.
Azure comes down here and heals for 5. All right, Chakki thinks he can survive this turn with just clearing the board and leaving behind a lot of 5/5s.
Yeah, and unless Hype gets stuff for his Blade Flurry.
Wow, that's actually pretty insane.
Yeah. Wow, that's a board clear?
Not exactly.
Oh no, it's just a little bit off. Yeah.
But backstab is pretty insane here.
So you backstab first and then fan? Or
you
would
backstab, fan, and then SI. The 2 SIs kill the 2 remaining creatures that are 5/2s.
Unless the fan picks up something else that's nice. I can't imagine though. I guess Deadly Poison?
Deadly Poison, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that's the play. You could actually... No, you have to backstab this one.
Right. Just because the damage is pretty relevant there. See what picks up, though. It is an oil.
Not quite. Well,
not enough mana. Yeah.
Wow, so double SI is actually really good here because you're still not dead next turn. Oh, unless your opponent has the combo, but if your opponent has the combo, you'd have been you're dead 3 times over now, so...
Right.
And backstab actually did a lot of work.
There you go. And there's still no signs of Chakki having the Force of Nature Savage Roar combination.
Oh, jeez.
These guys have fallen really low on health and then all of a sudden have still bounced back, and it's still a pretty tight game.
They're both kind of hanging on right now.
Yeah.
They both respect their other player to do a lot of burst damage because Druid and Rogues are one of the burstier decks. But both of them don't have it, and both of them are trying to control the board at the same time, thinking the other player has it.
Right. That second sprint too is going to be so big for Hyped if assuming he doesn't like pick up something immediately off to just do a big blade flurry turn or like win the game outright. But that's because the difference between the two hands right now is the draw potential, the card advantage that Hype might have over Chakki. Man, tough turn again. Like either way, if you just spend your time addressing what's on board, you're gonna be like you're just gonna be playing like in fear that your opponent might have the exact response anyways and clear your board. But you don't want to be missing this damage either, right?
Yeah, I think Chakki's gonna trade. Yeah, it's too scary. You have to be respectful. Oh man.
Yeah, and it's a good call too, because look, that oil and that prep would have been absolute devastation.
Yeah, it would have been basically 9 damage to the face, and even more, maybe, because of the flurry. But now, prep sprint.
Yeah, really
Seems
good
like
calls.
they've been playing this game for a very long time, and is Hype gonna start running on a card soon?
Well, he's got sprint. He could be fatiguing soon. Depends on how many remain from the sprint. All right. Well, Violet Teacher means Hyped he's got something here. And Chakki's going to, again, be in a tough position. He used all of his draw. And even though Chakki's made some pretty incredible moves and reads on what Hypes has, because he avoided lethal effectively with killing it off. It's just he's still in a tough spot here, Amaz, because now he's used both of his swipes. This Drake, even if it picks up something, it still has a hard time dealing with that Violet Teacher.
Ooh. If that Dr. Boom came earlier, that would have been perfect. So,
yeah, definitely.
I guess you have to Dr. Boom and pray. It's just such a big board moment.
You have to also ask about like how much damage can your opponent do. Hyped has 6 damage weapon next turn with Blade Flurry, so that's 12. Plus 4 on the board, so that's 16. And if the oil somehow lands... Oh, wait. He also has Thalanos.
Well, he
can't spend
those. Yeah.
So if the oil lands correctly, which is 50% chance, 50%. Then Hyped might win.
Well, if we're saying like 50% Amaz chance, then yes. If we're speaking about actual chance, it's 33, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, of course, the opposite end is if that doesn't happen, how does he deal with this now?
12 plus 6 is lethal. So if the oil lands on the Violet Teacher is GG, but it's like 33%.
It's like the instance where the Violet Teacher's ability is actually, detrimental to what you're trying to accomplish.
Hype actually wishes the Violet Teacher was actually just a regular 3/5 with no effect.
A Yeti. That's what he wishes it was.
If only.
Just time to put Yetis into your rogues.
Do you go for it though? It's lethal.
If you
miss, you sap.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. I guess
you
if
die to a Savage Roar? I don't think so.
I mean, I don't really. I guess he's going for it. I think.
Might as well. Here we go. The moment.
The oil bounce is Hype the bouncer. And Chakki
right in the kisser.
Oh, that is so brutal. Oh, that is brutal.
Oh, you gotta feel for Chakki on that one. And the Boombots, you know what? They land on the 1/1s, and they land on the 1/1s that the oil should have went on. Pretty unlucky there, and Hype takes game number 2. Evens out the series. Rogue is gone. And Rogue, if it lost to Druid, Hype would have been in an awful, awful spot. The Rogue is supposed to take out that Druid, but being able to defeat that Face Hunter 3 times is pretty difficult considering his lineup as well. So a very important win for Hype to stay on the board, and now the series is even.
Yeah, it was pretty grindy at the end there, and Hype won with 2 sprints. He actually needed both of them. to actually seal a victory because both of the players use their cards to just trade with each other. And now, Hyped is looking at. Did we see the mage yet? No, we didn't, right?
We have not.
No, haven't. That was like the previous games.
I've seen Hype play all kinds of mages. Like the couple days ago, he played Mech Mage for his Nvidia event, and the week before that, he played Freeze Mage. Oh no! The week before that, he played Flood Mage, and the week before that, he played Freeze Mage. So
Oh yeah. That one.
he's played everything effectively. And he mixes it up constantly. Sometimes he brings it. Again, he just like switches up his patterns so that way he doesn't become predictable in that sense. But of course, Mage is one of his favorite classes. Hyped was known as one of the best Mage players in World of Warcraft.
In World of Warcraft. Okay, yeah.
Oh, you're thinking about Hearthstone? No. Oh, I guess you could say that too. He loves playing that Hyped Mage back in the day. If you remember, it was really weird with Twilight Drakes and Molten Giants. But,
back then. Oh, jeez, that was a long time ago.
That was when GVG first came out. And since then, he's still been a big fan of Mage, but I don't know what he's digging recently. I have no clue. Does he like the Freeze Mage that you saw from earlier, or does he like the Mech Mage / Tempo Mage that we saw in RDU versus Show?
Yeah, definitely a lot of Mage classes that are very variable right now, but it seems like Hyped is going to go ahead with the Druid instead first.
Oh man, we got a Hogger. And this card is really cool because I was talking to Hyped about this, that Chinese players are experimenting with Hogger in their Druid deck. And he was like, well, that sounds really interesting. I'll give it a go. And I guess he came back and liked it. So he's trying it out.
Positive results from the testing, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Against,
I always feel like the Hearthstone client is trying to show me a magic trick, the way the intro of the Spectator client comes out.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like the game started. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your card? Is this your card? No, Innkeeper. It's not my card.
Well, it's kind of like the thing where I think it's better if the spectator mode client has the cards right side up instead of like upside down, so that we don't have to change the perspective, so that the cards kind of like show that way at the start, so you can actually see what they are. But yeah.
Agreed, my good sir. So this looks to be a handlock with demons in it. We've got Void Caller smack dab in the middle. We also have a special tech card, which may or may not be useful, assuming Chakki doesn't win this game with the Kazan Mystic. I look forward to seeing like how that's going to pan out. Chakki does have a pretty clear turn 3 play. Actually, you know what? I was going to say it's clear, but when you already have something on board, that Twilight Drake does get contested by the Keeper of the Grove. So maybe he would have played the Farseer. Other than that, I usually think Twilight Drake on turn 3 is really powerful.
Yeah, this Keeper of the Grove is effectively dealing 6 damage to the Twilight Drake, and a 2/4 to deal 6 for 4 mana is pretty insane.
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
There's no demons, right, in his hand. It's pretty tight and contested, squeezed, but I don't see any demons. So
yeah, definitely not right now.
Not a good spot for Void Caller to pull anything out tempo wise.
But usually, players against Void Caller are too scared to kill it anyways, in the fear that they are gonna drop down something big. So I can expect Hype to basically ignore this as well and not kill it off, which is really good because Chakki is looking like as if he's gonna use the Void Caller to smack the Keeper and then coiling it for for that, which is pretty sweet. If that doesn't happen, you can also have a 5-drop with Belcher or Lotheb. So it's all looking pretty good for Chakki right now, actually.
Yeah, I really like that move. Very good observations. It most likely that his Void Caller won't die. It's still a 3/4, and it gives you the opportunity to make those plays. And look at that, Hype feels like he has to silence it.
Yeah, well, double Keeper the Grove is gone. So wow, what tech cards, jeez.
Yeah, he's got Ooze and Kazan Mystic.
Yeah, Ooze is
obviously... He really wants to kill those hunters.
Oh, hunters? I think actually the Ooze is targeting more of the rogue, because one way rogues can actually beat a handlock is to set up a big dagger over several turns and then blade flurry all the giants, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and of course the Kazan is to beat against maybe mage as well, to be honest. A lot of tech cards.
Yeah. No, I mean, just anything that has the secrets.
Sure.
So then, what is... Okay, so Hype drew Lotheb, but the problem is like you said, those minions on the board go down pretty easily because they're just being contested. It's not very easy to fight back on the board whatsoever. And cards like Big Game Hunter are not going to be coming down on anything other than Mal'Ganis, Dr. Boom, and maybe a Molten Giant. So
Right.
from here, I think if Hype decides to just drop like the biggest minion he can, I think Lotheb would have been okay, but Druid the Claw just to try to contest is also okay, just because it fits the damage onto the board with the most health possible.
Yeah, makes sense. That attack with the Keeper to Go is quite interesting. How we just smacked it.
Yeah, is it a play around Hellfire at all? I don't think so.
Not really, because Hellfire doesn't
Yeah.
kill the Keeper to Goes either. Maybe Hype doesn't want this Druid of the Claw to not be able to kill the Belcher if Belcher attacks. But now the coil is gonna go on the Keeper. Huh.
Picks up another Molten Giant.
But yeah, I guess if the Belcher does slam into the Druid of the Claw, now it dies.
Right. He doesn't want to have to hero power because he wants to drop the lore next turn. So he uses the Keeper Body instead. Right? So he
Right.
can put out the 5/5 and draw cards. So I
Sure,
think he was
that's
trying to get ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit of planning ahead, I guess.
Pretty
Fortunately,
clever here. Using
yeah,
Farseer.
that's gonna get thwarted a little bit with Farseer.
Should you just drop the Ooze, or would you spend the time life tapping?
Ooze is really strong right now because both keepers are done with, so it's just gonna stick there. So I like the Ooze.
Although there is a board clear, and you keep the 2/3 on the board.
Yeah, but is it really a good board clear? I mean,
Yeah, it's worth evaluating. Let me think. So if you clear, yeah, you have a 2/3. What is he gonna do on 7 mana? Doctor Boom. How do you answer it? You have Big Game
Yeah.
Hunter, Wrath, and Hero Power. It's somewhat reasonable.
okay, so you just swipe and kill the Ooze and Hero Power as well. Oh wow, I'm going with the Ancient Lore instead and taking some more damage on the Keeper of the Grove, just for some more options.
Yeah, I guess Keeper of the Grove. It's not that valuable to keep just on the board. Ancient. The only thing is that I don't like that the Ancient Lord dies so easily because it doesn't really have high impact whatsoever. It could be that Hype says the best way that I threaten to kill is to get the Savage Roar and Force of Nature and try to see if I can be on the verge of killing my opponent. So if he goes by that, then maybe he wants to search for additional pieces for later parts of the game. I mean, he still has the perfect response from Druid's point of view.
Right now, yes. That is. It's not the perfect response. The perfect response to Dr. Boom is for your opponent not to have Dr. Boom at turn 7. So whatever.
guess.
I mean, this is fine.
I guess the perfect response to Dr. Boom on turn 7 is the Rhubarb Web Lord, so he has to play it on turn 9 or something.
Oh, okay. Wow, throw down
yeah.
the text.
Or Mana Wraith, which coincidentally is both off of Pilot Shredder. I mean, it is one of the ways to deal with Dr. Boom, though. Like, Druid does come out a card ahead if they Wrath for 1, Hero Power it, and Big Game Hunter. The only problem is how much damage you take in response. Because you actually do end up going a card ahead and putting the 4/2 on board. You do have an Innervate as well, so if you pick up Wrath, if you Wrath and you pick up a smaller drop, Shade of Naxxramas, you should have enough mana to do everything.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Time waits for no one.
It's got to go fast, though. Unless he wants to boom to respond to boom, that's also a thing to do.
Whoa, really? Okay, there you go.
Oh, and Innervate. Yeah, there you go.
Innovate into BGH as well. Okay.
Well,
That's a pretty hard turn.
I am now intrigued. How does the Handlock respond to this without, like, an easy removal option here? There's no Big Game Hunter. I mean, Chakki has, like, all the tech cards in the world outside of just direct big minion removal, big game hunter.
Yeah, the one generic counter, the one generic tech card of BGH is not seen here at
Yeah.
all. And this these two boom bots, if oh
Dreaded for
okay.
Well, that's one way to see the world burn. If it hits Dr. Boom.
No, it doesn't. It's bouncing again and it stops there. Okay.
Okay. 1 damage. Pretty negligible, but if it hit Dr. Boom for like a considerable amount of damage and you never know if the funky shenanigans end up clearing the board.
Yeah, that could happen. So with that, I guess you trade in your other Doctor Boom and just play a big card.
Yeah. Even if it
Thor's
hits
not-
Boom.
Is Thor's not even good here? I mean, I guess it's good as like a 6-drop, but it doesn't really do much.
Well, it makes your whole hand a lot cheaper, and it's not necessarily about, the Molten Giants per se, but it's,
Right.
Lotheb becomes cheaper. Now you can Lotheb and squeeze in an Ancient Watcher and do other stuff to really, really mana efficiently. So maybe it's about that, plus just what it represents. The fact that, it's a 5/5 on board, and you got to have something there.
Yeah. Oh, that was a pretty big boom hit. But yeah, as you can see, like the Molten Giants from being the 14 to 10, 15 to 14 with the Emperor, it doesn't really do that much, right? So I think with Emperor, when it reduces 1 mana spells to 0 mana spells, they can become insane. So yeah.
Yeah, 0 mana anything is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just because it just breaks the rules of the game and allows you to squeeze in anything. Really interesting question here about how hyped, if he should attack or not.
No, he goes for it.
Oh, Hype forgot the hero power.
Hype forgot to hero power. I mean, that is definitely a wrong move. You can choose not to attack if you're playing around
Yeah.
multi, but you forgot to hero power. That might come down to bite him at the end.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Hype kind of looked a little frustrated himself. He did like a little head bob there, but not the end of the world. Chakki, in the meantime, it could be the end of the world for him as far as he knows. There's a Dr. Boom that he still can't technically answer.
Oh boy.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
you
have a
can't-
taunt giver, right?
No taunt givers as well.
He actually needs to draw a taunt or he's dead.
Wow.
Another Ancient Watcher.
How is this even possible? Like, how is
Huh?
this even possible?
No
Did he
heals,
No heal bots, right? No
no
taunts.
taunts, no AoE. He just
he cut-
dies.
Did he cut all those for like the ooze and the Kazan and stuff? No way, right?
Well, I
What?
mean, you have one defender, so people have cut that defender for a long time. But like, yeah, no heal bots, no Sun Fury protectors, no Shadow Flames, no Siphon Soul, like nothing. No big game hunter. I find that absurd. Chakki got so unlucky. Oh my
I guess
goodness.
it was super unlucky to actually draw those set of cards.
Chakki played Warlock. Okay, so one of these classes on the overlay.
Oh,
must have
well,
been-
yeah, this is
Yeah.
wrong, man. So I guess Chakki isn't running Hunter and instead running Warlock instead. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if he played Druid as well and the Druid is listed. The Druid is red, I think. So Hunter is dead. Warlock here, guys. And
Okay, fair enough. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
okay, good.
Well, I mean, it makes sense in the of why it is, not necessarily of why Chakki decided to bring Warlock. Because I felt like Face Hunter is, iconic to him in a way.
Oh yeah,
because it's a really
yeah.
aggressive
You
player.
asked for it.
All right, running back and hyped with the Mech Mage.
Mech Mage, Mech Warper, and Chakki once again going with this Demon Warlock. He's got. He's got Dark Bomb early on, but the question is, can you make the read on what kind of mage this is? You almost always have to assume it's the Mech Mage if you have no information, right?
Well, you mulligan versus Mech Mage, and then if it so happens that it is Freeze Mage or something like that, you have a lot of wiggle room, right?
Absolutely. But he has to beat this twice. So he has to beat this once with the Warlock and then once with the Druid. That's so hard.
Oh, the
That
Druid
is so difficult.
especially if it's not Freeze Mage, right? So, yeah, it's gonna be epic battle.
All right.
Of course,
Hyped,
it doesn't reveal any information at all.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Just wants to make sure not to give his opponent any clue on what kind of mage it is, but he keeps two.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's the
And-
anti spot. Okay.
So it is in the deck.
Yeah. Oh.
Double Mech Warper.
Now, playing the Clockwork Gnome in turn 1 is actually not that good because you just play into Coil, and next turn is free anyways. So I would like to see Hype actually hold back on this. No.
You
Okay.
do miss 2 damage, I suppose.
Actually, yeah, I guess you do miss 2 damage.
And that could be relevant, especially because you might be needing the direct damage burn to end the game, and then you might come a little bit short.
Yeah. Okay. I can get behind that.
Double Mech Warper. All the way.
Yeah, not this turn, but the next. I can see a Dark Valkyrie played immediately here.
It's definitely the right thing to do here. And for good reason, because that would have been absolutely gross to be able to squeeze in every single mech
Yeah.
if that was the case.
So hyped here. Thinking about it, Hellfire is always at the back of your mind when you play against the Hanok, but sometimes you just need to go for it. Like, if they have multi-giants, if they have anti-heal bots, if they have, like, any board clears, you're pretty much done for, right? So you have to play as if they don't have any of those. So I guess it's kind of rare to play the Clockwork Gnome in turn 1, just to push in for more damage.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think you just want to put as much pressure as possible. You have Fireball, so you just can piece together other damage, and you'll be counting down from there. So we have 6 on board, 6 from the hand, it's 12 damage. Just kind of figure out a way to piece together 14 and go from there.
Oh, the Mal'Ganis straw is very clutch here because Mal'Ganis effectively gives your hero 7 more health, right? It soaks a fireball usually, and yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to make the Void Caller super dangerous too.
Yeah, a 3/4 that Death Rattles into a 9/7 is usually considered pretty good if a 4 mana.
So, would you want to stall out this Void Walker? Or Void Caller, excuse me.
Well, you have to go for the face, so yes, right? You have X amount of time to do X amount of damage, and then you need to fireball, and finish it off. You cannot play the value game with the handlock. It's just not what the deck is designed to do.
Yeah, completely agree. Still a little bit of hesitation from Hype's end. I still think Pilot Shredder, though, is pretty resilient against whatever his opponent can do. The only
Right.
exception would be if you play Pilot Shredder, he trades into it, and then Shadow Flames or Hellfire, whatever comes out. That would definitely stink.
Oh, I think Hellfire would suck more, right? If you Hellfire,
Right.
and then the 4 color trades for whatever comes out. Because the 4 color will survive the Hellfire. Yeah, I was thinking about that a little bit, but this has to go face. You're not sacrificing Trigger for no reason. Oh, Kazan Mystic is a good
Mystic.
card in this matchup, but no secrets just yet, so it's not going to be played.
Well, a Mad Scientist will be able to fetch something, and that might be the difference maker. Still no AoE, though. And what's hilarious is what if he trades into that Pilot Shredder, and then like a Patient Assassin pops out, and then Mal'Ganis gets forced onto the battlefield, Amaz.
I think the trade on the Mech Warper is better, but if that happens, I would treat you to dinner in C-Store.
Ah, yes. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. But it's not happening. It's definitely not happening.
No, I know. I'm just painting a scenario where, like, I was just painting a scenario where if like Mal'Ganis comes out and it's like the
Yeah.
worst possible scenario.
That would be bad. I'll treat you to dinner anyway, Frodan.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Tinkertown Technician. If he picks up, is there any useful spare part in this scenario here? Maybe a reversing switch
not-
or coolant. The freeze the Void Caller, right?
Right, but
Something needs tinkering?
yeah, I guess that's the best one. No, Northern Blaze doesn't do anything. Northern
Yeah, I
Blaze
guess.
is bad.
Yeah,
Northern
yeah.
Blaze and the armor one, those are like the 2 worst spare parts. That's why they're colored orange.
Hey, I like orange. Orange is one of my favorite colors.
I like orange too. Icon orange, yay.
Yeah, exactly. You like orange
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, those two aren't the best spare parts to get ever.
Also, Fireball. Fireball is orange.
Fireball is more yellow, I guess.
Look at the guy. Is that guy orange or is that guy
It's
yellow?
red, right? No, the guy is red, and the flames are yellow, right? Wait,
Yes,
what?
but the embers are orange.
Okay.
Orange is a good color, man. I'm personally very insulted that you're calling out orange, man.
What? No, like the spare parts, the orange spare parts. You know, you can't take things out of context. Jeez.
Let it be known that Amaz hates everything that's orange.
Oh gosh.
Outside of his own teammate.
Oh.
Chakki here is still in a pretty big tight spot, but he can summon out Mal'Ganis and make a big power play by healing up with the heal bot afterwards, or even making it so that's a big wall for both these minions with Defender of Argus. What is he going to choose to do here?
I think healbot is fine. Because you're never gonna not need to heal back up, right? I mean, mech mages don't suddenly go like, oh, you can't play healbot, right? So it's always gonna be relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Goblin Class Mage.
I guess you can't do that right now. I guess you need the fireball.
Yeah, Fireball. But if you Fireball, it still gets a little clunky because the Pilot Shredder doesn't get protected.
Right. The blast mage could be very bad here.
Can it hit face? It can, right?
Yeah, it can hit face and it just fizzles out.
Dude.
But then if it hits face, it's the same as hitting face, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right. Well, those are actually pretty good fires there. Not bad.
Mana Addict. Mana Addict's...
Not that. Oh, Cloak
not
Field
the
is actually
worst.
really good here.
Yeah.
So Antonitis pickup would be pretty big.
Well, the Kazan Mystic.
Kazan Mystic hype.
Yeah, but there's no minions. If Hype just picks damage, if he picks up the second Fireball, does he just win?
Actually, does he win anyways, regardless, right now? Because
Oh,
like
no, 'cause
each
he can't, yeah.
spell represents 2 damage. So Fireball deals 6 plus 2. Whirling Blaze is 1 plus 2, right?
9, 15, 17. Hero power? Wait.
So 6 plus
6?
8 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. And then
And
Hero
Infinity
Power...
Cold feels
yeah.
19.
No, Hero Power is 18 because
Wait,
Hero
what?
Power doesn't trigger the mana addict.
No, the Finicky Cloak field. You just, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
if
it.
you finish his Cloak Field, you can't Hero Power.
You don't need to. You got Whirling Blades.
Wait,
He's
did I
got it,
miss-
dude.
Did I miss?
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh, okay.
Just over.
Oh yeah. Finicky Cloak Field is 2 damage. Okay.
All right, so that's
Oh.
3-1, right? And Hyped goes to the round of 4, and Chakki gets stopped. I got a feel here for Chakki. Just a couple of really awkward draws. Although at the same time, he did put some very interesting tech cards in the Kazan Mystic. It got the secret, so the job was done. But you can't control things like Mana Addict. You know, getting Spirit Parts with Mana Addict is like such a sick combination. Like Micro Machine level of damage there.
Actually, so far, all of the wins have been Shredder drops. Right?
Yeah, you know, there's been some like the Knife Jugglers have been pretty clutch. The Micro
Right.
Machines, even
Mana
having,
Addicts.
that what's it called? The Mana Addict was really sick too.
Yeah. Awesome. Wow. Very good Shredders here.
So far today. So that wraps up the third quarterfinal, guys. We have one more that's going to be before we go into the round of 4. But every person that wins gets $500. But that doesn't mean you guys can't go empty-handed either. There's 10% that you can save through Amazon coins if you buy card packs through the Amazon App Store. And we're also giving away coins too. I think we're giving away to 20 people. Is that correct, Amaz?
Yeah, that is correct. And we actually have more winners. But before that, we actually want to shout out the link for Amazon, which is very easy. www.amazon.com/Hearthstone. Very easy to type in. You don't even need the www. And beforehand. I don't think anybody even does it nowadays. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. You can get 30% off Hearthstone packs by basically when you buy Hearthstone packs, they give you 30% back as Amazon coins, and you can use those coins to buy more packs. So basically, get 30% more packs if you use the Amazon service there, which is why not? I mean, you're buying packs anyways, so might as well get 30% more, right? The winners for Twitch, the exclamation mark raffle giveaway, are Zerant, so that's Z-I Rant, and we have Omega TV as well. You guys are winners, so please check your inbox. Congratulations. We also have 2 Twitter winners now. It's Schnitzel Massel and Merc ZJ. Merc ZJ. All right. You guys have also won, so check your Twitch inboxes or Twitter personal messages, respectively. And congratulations on your $100 credit on the Amazon App Store.
All right. Well, you can use it for whatever you want. Probably more Hearthstone packs. Or you can just kind of show off to your friends in your nice little App Store account. Well, you can do that while we get ready for our last quarterfinals of the day. Who do we have coming up next, Tomas?
We have to look at the graphic here. It's Dog from Complexity and Zalay from Team Archon.
That's right.
Be a pretty
So
good match.
cool stuff. I can't wait to see Zalay play from his first series after ESL in a long time. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, the final quarterfinal before we go into the round of 4 here at the Blackrock Mountain Release Tournament.